I'm Jay Jackson, and I'm going to show you how I lost 75 pounds in a little more than 7 months and gained complete control over my weight. Welcome to episode 8 of the ChoZen FroZen.
Bounce, bounce, bounce. Baby, bounce.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to the episode. I hope you are having an excellent journey. I certainly am, and I thank you for tuning in one more time. Now, before we get started, of course, please hit the subscribe button. Also, click that bell that gives you a notification whenever I post a new video. Also, hit the like button. That tells YouTube that people are watching this video, and then share this with your friends. Now, real quick, just some background on me. This is October 2018. 310 pounds, completely out of shape, basically eating myself to death. Figured out I had to find a way to just improve my health, and then 7.5 months later, this is me, down 75 pounds, and I'm going to show you how to do it in this program called the ChoZen FroZen. Now, if you've seen these videos before, you know we break them down to 3 different segments. First is the mathematics of weight loss. That's where I give you some very specific numbers of my weight loss and how I got down to where I am and where I'm going to. And also the practice of weight loss, and this will get you into the rhythm of how to lose weight the way I did it. And finally, we talk about the ChoZen. Now, the first 2 you can skip by if you've seen these videos before. It's just a review. It's nothing new, but always, of course, the ChoZen. We suggest a new food that you can try as far as helping your weight loss journey. Now, let's get to the first part, the mathematics of weight loss. I say this every time. Losing weight is very simple once you figure out the mathematics of it. Now, here it is for me. I eat 300 calories every 3 hours, every day, up to 2,000 calories. Don't always reach 2,000 calories, but it's up to 2,000 calories. Again, I want to tell you this is very simple. There's nothing complicated. No shakes, no powders, no running around, no jumping around, nothing like that. Just eat 300 calories of anything you want every 3 hours, every day, up to 2,000 calories. And the reason this works is because your body has a machine inside of it that is eating fat all the time. But if you give it too many calories, it's going to bog it down. If you don't give enough calories, the engine's going to stall. You have to find the sweet spot to make it run at its optimal rate. And for most guys my size, it's going to be 300 calories every 3 hours, up to 2,000 calories. Now, how did that look to me? How was that tangible? Well, after a few months of losing weight, I started to track the numbers specifically. And here's how it broke down for me. And this is the map I follow all the time that has helped me lose weight and is going to continue to lose weight. Here's the map right here. Take a look. If I eat 2,000 calories every day, I am going to lose around 0.3 pounds. That's an average, right? Doesn't sound like a lot every day. Well, by the end of the week, that's about 2.1 pounds. And by the end of the month, that's 8.4 pounds. And if I stick with it, of course, 10 months, that's going to be 84 pounds. Now, anybody who has battled weight in their entire lives know that 84 pounds is a miraculous number. That is going to get you on your way, and that will pretty much change your life as it has changed mine. And I'm just down 75 since I started this in October of 2018. So the numbers are really simple. 300 calories every 3 hours, every day, 2,000 calories maximum. You're going to lose 0.3, or I lost 0.3 pounds average per day. 2.1 pounds per week, 8.4 per month, and then that's going to be 84 pounds once I get to 10 months. Those are incredible numbers, and I know that once you put this plan, this system into your life, this formula into your life, your entire life is going to change because you are going to grab control of that monster weight that has been plaguing you all of your life. Now, as every episode, we have a question of the day, and the question of the day is this: when do I stop eating? Well, basically, you stop eating when you go to bed. Most people are in bed by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and you're going to stop eating at least 2 or 3 hours before that because you can only fit a certain amount of 3-hour intervals in a day. And that's what we talk about in the practice of weight loss. And welcome to the practice of weight loss. This is pretty much where you learn the rhythm of how to lose weight. You know, we can all find a rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? That's a little rhythm. Now, Imagine being able to do that knowing that you're going to lose weight on a tempo, on a beat, on a rhythm like that. That's what the practice of weight loss is. You know, we practice things just to get better and better at it. Let's say we're a musician in a band, we're at home practicing, and then we go to rehearsal where we already pretty much know the music, and then everybody comes together and then we make a beautiful thing, right? That's the same concept with the ChoZen FroZen. The rehearsal is the times of day that you will eat. You will eat at very specific times of the day on 3-hour intervals. Remember, we're eating 300 calories every 3 hours up to 2,000 calories. So I looked at a clock and I said, okay, I'm going to start eating at 8 o'clock every day. 3 hours after that, then it's going to be 11 o'clock. So I have another 300-ish calorie meal. And then after that, it's going to be 2 o'clock, another 300-ish calorie meal, and then 5 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock. And that's typically when I stop eating. And that gets me up to about 1,500, 1,600 calories. Because remember, we're talking about 300-ish calories. Sometimes you go over 300, sometimes you're below. But you stop at around 1,500 to 1,600 as far as your meals go. But that gives you plenty room between 1,500 calories and 2,000 calories to play. I mean, you know, a lot of times we might go out and we have a glass of wine, or we have a glass of bourbon, or we have a martini, or whatever. It gives you room to play, but still knowing that you're going to lose weight at the end of the day. So remember those time frames, because they will be pillars in your life. They will be the most important part of your day-to-day life. Those 3-hour intervals. Mine happen to be 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. But let's say you start eating at 9 o'clock. Well, then yours will be 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Let's say you start eating at 7 in the morning. Then it's 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock. See how that works? Every 3 hours, you're going to be eating 300 calories. And if you set it by the time of day, you pretty much know when it's time to eat and time to actually lose weight, because you are feeding your fat burning machine at that sweet spot every day, and he's constantly burning weight. Now, for the question of the day, when it comes to the practice of weight loss, does it matter what time I start? No, it does not matter what time you start. You can start at any time, as long as after that first meal, you're eating another 300-ish calorie meal, no more or no less than 3 hours after that. You don't want to eat between those 3 hours, because that just will pile on the calories. Now, an important part of this is to get several apps or in-app that will help you monitor the calories. The one I use the most is the MyFitnessPal app. That one has been great for me, because I can set up in the app different meal times of the day that will track the meals that I eat, and calories, more importantly, that I have in the day. So make sure you get one of those apps, because that will go a long way towards helping you reach your goal of being a person in complete control of your weight. And that's what I'm trying to get you to, in complete control of your weight. And now we're going to move to the section I call the ChoZen.
Bounce, bounce, bounce. Baby, bounce.
Hey friends, welcome to the ChoZen. Now this segment is for people who are advanced in the system that I call the ChoZen FroZen. People who are now into the rhythm of eating every 3 hours, 300 calories every day, up to 2,000 calories, and you have seen the weight coming off, and you know you're not going to change your system, because this is the way for you that you have found complete control over your weight. If you're that person, then the ChoZen section is for you, because this is where I talk about, you know, certain foods that I recommend you eat. Now, one of the primary questions I get all the time on this is, well, what can I not eat? Are there some things that I'm restricted to eat? Absolutely not. You can eat absolutely anything you want. There are no food restrictions on the ChoZen FroZen plan. You can have burritos, you can have hamburgers, you can have steaks, you can have wine, you can have carbs, you can have sugars, you can have bread, you can have anything you want, as long as you keep it to around 300 calories every 3 hours. Your fat burner inside of you will eat that up and keep you at a weight that will keep you happy. That's what your fat burner wants to do, keep you happy by keeping all of the excess weight off your body, and that will keep you healthy, which leads to happiness. So that's the number one question, that's the number one answer. No, there are no restrictions to this type of plan of eating. No food restrictions, zero food restrictions, but there are better choices. And that's what is important about this section, the ChoZen. Because what you will find is that you're eating a lot of food during the day every 3 hours. And that means you're either doing a lot of shopping or you're going to the store a lot. And it just kind of gets tiring, kind of measuring the food out to make sure it's 300 calories. And that's what you have to do. You know, you'd have to measure out like a breast of chicken or a side of beef or piece of beef, and then the vegetables, and then that just gets tedious. Or if you go out to a restaurant, it's, you know, difficult to find good food that is less than 1,500 calories as far as a plate goes, because some of these restaurants are ridiculous on the calories, over 2,300 calories for a single plate, which is just crazy. I mean, that's more than a whole day of eating if you want to lose weight. But let's not get too far into that. The primary food that I use that helped me lose the weight is frozen food. These are the frozen foods. The modern day frozen food is an excellent, healthy, and safe alternative when it comes to eating. I mean, you can find them generally around 250 to 400 calories. That's a nice ballpark to stay within range of this eating plan. So our food today, the ChoZen today, is Lean Cuisine's classic macaroni and beef. Yeah, that's a good one. Now, I know it's a very simple meal, but I tell you, this is a staple. When I started first doing the ChoZen FroZen plan, this is the meal that really hung in there for me, and I really learned to hook this up into a way that it's an excellent meal. Now, as you know, in the ChoZen FroZen plan, what we do is we take one of these frozen meals and then we spice them up to taste, and the recommended spices that we use are based on the color of the food. We color match our spices with the colors of the food. So let's start with this one, this classic macaroni and beef. Obviously throw it in the mic, follow the instructions as far as, you know, venting it, stirring it after a few minutes, and then pulling out. And then of course you want to let the food cool. Just set it aside for a second while you set up your silverware and napkins or wine or whatever, and let it cool, because you never want your palate burned. That could last for 2 days where you're not even tasting food because your tongue is burned. So please make sure you let that food cool. And then always try to plate the food. Put it on a plate, make it nice and presentable. And that also gives you space to put on a side salad. Believe me, the side salads are very, very important. That roughage will help you lose weight, because, you know, you always have to do natural things as a human. And so this salad will help in that process. Now, let's get to seasoning our macaroni and beef. Now, this is a pretty simple one. We're looking at the macaroni there. You know, that's typically white, yellowish. So I'm going to go with Parmesan here, kind of a color match there. And also on that same color scheme, I like to put lemon pepper on to spice it up a little bit. We're looking at a lot of red, of course, in the sauce with the tomatoes, so I'm going with cayenne today, as I go with cayenne a lot. And then a lot of times I like to match the side salad colors with one of my seasonings. In this case, it's going to be an herb. It's going to be chives. And chives, of course, are delicious. And it makes for a beautiful plate. It makes for a very tasty meal. And it goes a long way towards keeping you right in the ballpark of your calories, because it's 250 calories, this particular meal. With the salad, that's going to take it up to about 300, and you'll be right there in the ballpark. So that's the ChoZen meal for the episode 8, classic macaroni and beef. Of course, we go with Parmesan cheese, we got lemon pepper, cayenne, and then chives for a 280 calorie meal. Now, in review, the mathematics of weight loss. Remember this: 300 calories every 3 hours, up to 2,000 calories every day. You eat at very specific intervals. If you start at 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock p.m. If you start at 9 o'clock, the numbers go accordingly. 7 o'clock, same thing. So the important thing is to remember the time frames and the amount of food you're eating, not what you're eating. It's the amount of food and the time in which you're eating it that will help you be successful in the ChoZen FroZen. Thank you for tuning in to episode 8. I'm Jay Jackson. Bon appetit.
Bounce, bounce, bounce. Baby, bounce. Come on, bounce, bounce, bounce. Baby, bounce. I like the way it snap back. Can I put it on Snapchat? Make it go clap, clap. I'm gonna need a nap now. Got the bed squeaking. Baby girl, you freaking. No need for speaking. Look back, get a peeking. Tell me how you lie.